Okay, for this operation we need an Argentavis. You can, do the pteranodons if you want, but I always like to do the Argentavis because of, called it Arky, because of their ability to carry loads. Now you can bring along a second one or even a third one if you want, if they have a good load capacity. Now, I probably should explain stamina is extremely important for distance, how long your bird can fly before it needs a rest, but it's also influenced by the weight limit. So I try to keep these two very close together, but if I'm going to have one that's higher number than the other, then it's going to be, of course, this one right here. Now this Argentavis is maxed out. It cannot go any higher than 42. You can tell that by the fact that it's got no more experience points possible. So if you subtract 30, that'll tell you what level it was after the taming process was finished. And of course, if you take an Argentavis with you as a cargo bird more than anything else, then what you want to look at, of course, is this number here. And this number should be higher, but it looks like I might have messed up a little bit here. Because that, if my eyes are not messing with that, says 610, and that says 620. Normally it's the other way around. Stamina is higher. Okay. Now the next thing you gotta do is you gotta grab you one of these guys with a saddle on it, and you want to go find yourself a rock pile. Now it just so happens I have a rock pile close by, so that's where I always go with this guy, and I do this once a day, and that way I can fill him up because he gets a weight reduction on how much stone he can carry. Now notice that he needs to be facing on the left side. And see how he can get pretty full of this rock. And my Argentavis can carry him. In fact, I probably should switch which birds I'm using, because I've got one now that's better than the one I'm using at the moment. It's got a higher level, higher weight limit, higher stamina, and all that other good stuff. Now, I like to bring the health up a little bit on my birds, so that they're not easy to kill, and I like to build up the ability for them to fight. So that means belay. I gotta build up belay a little bit. Now try not to stay in the water too long so your guy doesn't drown, but look at the top right hand side where you see the blinking ham, and notice that underneath that blinking ham is how much weight he can carry. Now at the moment he's still moving with me on his back, so that tells me he can carry a bit more. Now once he cannot move with me on his back, then I know that he's reached his limit, because my avatar has weight. See there, he's slowing way down. Now can he still move? Just barely. So now it's time for me to get off. Okay, so now let's go ahead and use this guy to pick him up. And you don't have to be exact, but see how my bird is having trouble? See, I've got just a little bit too much weight on him. So I have to tell my bird to land, but he can't because he's overloaded. Look at the top right again, underneath the blinking ham, you've got the weight. And notice that the handle on the weight is fully developed. There's no missing parts at all. So I jump off and I go back to my base because I can't do anything except I should show you this too. You can tell him to follow. Well, the first thing I need to do is get him out of the water. And see, he's kind of full, so he can't hardly move. He's a little too full. Now, to make this a little simpler, what I'll do is I'll just unload him. Come over to here, get into his inventory, and I'll start getting rid of a little bit of the stone until I see a gap. I want the gap to be right up in here somewhere. So a little bit more. All right. Now, the next heavy thing, of course, is the wood. Now, that's not too bad. I think my Argentavis can handle him now, if I can get on him. Sometimes the game cooperates and sometimes it don't. Didn't let me get on him that time. Well, let's see. Can I get on top of this rock? I'll try this one here first. All right, here we go. Now I'll jump towards the bird, and I should get the right option come up. And when it does, that means I can go ahead and get on him. Now, if I've taken off enough weight, well, just barely enough weight, I still have a slight problem. I need to switch birds. I've got a better one now. If you're wondering why I have more than one of these, it's because I like to fill them both up. Now, if you get low enough to the ground, it'll automatically drop them. But you can also use the option to where right-click to release. All right, I'm kind of going to put this bird in retirement for a bit. So that looks like a good place to park it. I'll check its inventory. Oh, no wonder we were having some trouble. I didn't take all the inventory off. Well, let's go ahead and let's click here first. Uh-oh, I may not be able to yeah, I can't carry that. So let's put that back. But in the meantime, let's get back over here to the bird and take off the saddle. And then transfer it over. Okay, so let's go find our better bird with a higher limit, higher level. And that would be this guy right here. Or is that a female? No, it's a male. Okay, so now we'll transfer the saddle over here. And it instantly becomes like a smithy as soon as you put the saddle on. Alrighty, now we'll come over here, back to our bird that we're putting into retirement, you might say, because it doesn't have the higher numbers. Now, I'm close enough, right? Yeah, I'm close enough. So I could go ahead and transfer this stuff over. We'll just dump that for now. And we better go put these items in storage first. Now, to demonstrate again, we'll grab the other one. I think this is the other one, isn't it? I didn't use it again, did I? The same bird? Or I should say the same rock buster. Alright, so I'll just right click, I'll drop it, then I'll just hit the space bar, land my bird. I'm going to get it out of the way first. There we go. Yeah, we'll check his inventory. Yep, good. No, nothing in the inventory. So we'll smack the wood first. He doesn't get much of a discount, if any, on the wood products that he picks up. And it'll be more thatch than wood, as you can see. Alright, but he's got a little bit more weight capacity, weight allowance than the other one does, because he started out at a higher level. So you always want to tame the highest level you can. You might have to hunt around for a while. Now you notice I'm always lining up where the rock is on the left-hand side. And sometimes which rock he will bust will be a mystery until it actually happens. Alright, so now if we want to go bust this one out here, oh, we better not. He's already towards his maximum. Yeah, see there, the handle is starting to fill in underneath that weight symbol underneath the ham hock to give you how much food we got. Alright, so now we've got, now watch this, I'm head on shot, right click, and notice that it automatically turns him around. So when the rock buster is being carried, he's pointing forward. So it really doesn't matter how you approach him. It's all about just getting him picked up. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do our left click. They don't seem to take much fall damage, so you don't have to be too picky All right, now, when you look on his inventory, you notice he's only got this and no wood because we dumped it. Remember? And we've got the same thing going here, except he still has a little bit of wood, but doesn't have very much. So we cannot do much with that. Now, his limit on weight is this far back, so there's a good chance I can still ride him. Not very quickly, but we'll just turn him around. And we'll have him point. Got to put a little space in there because I'm going to park the bird between them after I get a lot of wood and a bit of thatch ready to go. All right, so let's get over here. Oh, they've killed him already. Well, darn. I guess I better go check and see what the deal is. Make sure we don't have some meat that doesn't need to be picked up. Now we'll go to crafting. We'll go down here, we'll make, well, before I do that, I need to make one of these. I'll explain why here in a minute. Now, let's transfer a couple more of woods and transfer some more stone over. 3 should be enough. And what we want is right there. And 4 is the perfect number. Now, what we're going to start with is what is often called a hunter's platform, but it can turn into your base also. Go to inventory. All right, now let's see. Notice which pet, the Ruckbuster. So I'll put all of this stuff back into him for now because he can hold it. He's got plenty of weight limit. All right, we've got some basic stuff to work with now. We'll start with this. We'll add these, and then we'll top it off with those to make our hunter's platform. Now, all right, so now what we got to do is we got to go find a place where I can demonstrate. Now, as you can see, I build in the shadows where there's a large area where the water is shallow. And I'll extend this out some more and make my base, which is going to be a big stone box. I'll extend it all the way out until the water goes deep. Of course, I could extend it even more, but it'd be a little dangerous. Lots of sharks and piranha and other critters that might try to eat my avatar while he's in the water. All right, what I'm looking for is another shallow area that is rather large and it has not been claimed. So this area, which is a good one, has already been claimed. See the square foundations with the pillars on top of them? See, somebody's already decided they want that area. Now this is also, how far away? See, got any more pillars in the water here? I don't see them. All right, let's go on the other side of this rock formation. Well, it doesn't go out as far as I would like, but it does have a decent building area right here. So this might work real well as a demonstration area. Now your bird will not land in the water. You've got to get back on the shoreline. So now the first thing I want to do is I want to get into his inventory. Well, actually I don't. I got everything I need. So we'll close this. We'll use the eye to get into the avatar's personal inventory. And let's see how, that's as far as over we go. So I want to get out here where it's kind of starting to get deep. And I want to see where it turns red again. Well, that's a pretty big area, so I'll just go with this. Uh-oh, jellyfish. Let's get out of the water before that jellyfish gets us. Besides, we don't have as much oxygen capability as I'd like. Now, this is where you might want to have a raft so that you could do more and stay away from those jellyfish. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to fly all the way back and grab a raft. Okay. Now this is a really basic utility raft that's not finished. It's just got a small amount of storage in the bed. So we'll go ahead and use this one. And a dinosaur like a T-Rex or some other big dinosaur attacks my raft, it'll chew it up. It might take it a while, but it will chew it up. So you gotta go to stone at some point, or even better, metal. But this is a beginner server, and it's only active for 8 weeks, and then it gets wiped. So I normally don't get too carried away with making stuff out of metal. For one thing, the normal cap on the level that your avatar can reach is 44. So there's a pretty good sized limit on what you can invest in. Oh, there's the game glitching again. Alright, let's get over to our foundation. Now, one thing that I did not do that I need to do, well, that's a porpoise, that's not much of an issue, is I need to put out some posts, some pillars declaring this is my territory, leave it alone. Oops, I gotta get my tools off my bird first. Alright, get close enough, get in the inventory. The tool I'm gonna need is this one. And I'm gonna need that one too, because I don't have hardly any thatch. So for the time being, I want to put these in storage on the bird. And I gotta go get myself some thatch. So we'll need the pickaxe. Because if we don't stake out our territory, we're going to have a neighbor try to move in much too close. Alright, so we got what we need. And that jellyfish, yeah, see where it's at? It's hanging out. Alright, so now we'll put away our tool, we get back into our inventory, and what we want to do, oh, it's red, we're already too close. Alright, so where can we get it to turn green? Oh, don't tell me all this. Oh, yeah, there's a pillar right back there, I can see it. Oh dear. That's not going to turn green until we actually get in the water. See there? Oh, that jellyfish is getting much too close. Wow, they've really sped up that jellyfish. Look at that thing move. All right, oh, right there. That's as best we can do. Since I'm not going to build an entire base, I'm not going to worry too much about the fact that this spot is kind of small. Alright, so now I need to find right about there. Okay. I can't put it on this side, I have to go around. Yeah, there we go. Now, luckily I don't have any weight, so I could just jump back in. But normally, how I get back on the raft, and that's why I don't cover up the rudder when I do these modifications, is I just have to get close to the rudder and hit drive. You saw that? I'll show you one more time. You gotta get close enough until you see drive. Then you press the E, and you're in the driver's seat. You're back on the rudder. Alright, oh boy, I'm curious. Let's go check out that green drop that I need. Now, how high out of the water you go is a judgment call. I don't see any jellyfish close by. I want to get that right in the middle. And since the game is allowing those jellyfish to move like crazy, I don't trust it to get a fair shake. Now, if I use the right mouse button for a second to cancel the operation, I can move the raft around. I just don't want to be in the deep. Because if I'm in the deep, I could be in trouble. Sharks and stuff might try to sink my raft. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to drive straight over top of it. There we go. Now, if I got the alignment, well, maybe forward just a little bit more. There we go, let's try that. If I got this just right, I should be able to add pillars. Now, let's see, that one is just above the water line, you see? Now, that is a good starting point most of the time. But I like to go higher, if for no other reasons, because the game allows the wild dinosaurs, the meat eaters, the big ones, and even the smaller ones to attack right through the floor. So I usually go at least one or two higher. And since I'm talking about a hunter's post, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. That looks like it's about the same height as my raft here. That's worked out so far, so that might be high enough. So we'll put the extra pillars away and we'll grab these platforms, which are your ceiling tile. And right in the center. Oh, come on. Well, let's just jump over there then. Make this a little easier. Let's see, I only made 4 of them, so we'll do it. It's a little off, but that'll do. That gives me a good hunter's platform. So anything on the shoreline or in the water is now available to me to hunt. But you're saying, well, what about making your platform bigger? Well, we can, more parts. We could also put more pillars down. But right now, the thing I would be thinking about is more ceiling parts. I want to make that as big as I can. What in the world am I trying to eliminate here? What's going on? All right, so let's see. We need, we got a little bit of thatch, we got some wood, but we don't have any stone. That's what we need. We need stone. Now, it's big enough to where I can now use the bird. Like so. I just got to make sure that I land on the edge so that when I jump off, I don't end up in the water. All right, so let's see what we can do. Uh-oh, can't go any more that way. All right, we can extend it this way. And, oh, we need more stone. Now, the post is right there. Can you see it? The top of the pillars. Right in the center of this little square right here. Well, that didn't help much either, did it? That's not really helping. All right, so we need to make some more ceiling tile, and it looks like we could put one more down before we do an expansion. And did we load up the? Yeah, we did. Boom, that's the last one now. If I want to make this bigger, you see what it offers me? I can expand this way, but not on either side. See there? It's going to be the same way all the way around. That's it. That's as big as I could go until I put down some more foundation. Now, there's more than one way to do this. Let me show you the first way. I start off with one of these. And I put it down right in the center. Well, that is the deep end, isn't it? Yeah, that's a little more risky. So, before I go any further, let's get that raft over here. All right, now, do we have pillars, stone pillars? We've got 4. That might be enough. Let's go ahead and transfer these over. Okay, let's get the raft where we need it, just in case of a jellyfish attack. The sharks normally don't come up here into the shallows. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the raft, the back end of the raft, real close to where I'm going to be working. So if I have to make a quick exit, and I don't want to be over top the deep part because of the shark attack possibility. All right, so here we go. Now, notice that, see how it goes down? See that little bit of a bump right there? You want the lowest possible setting. Not that one, but this one. And that way, when you do the extension, it won't poke through the top. The stone pillar. Come on. I guess that's, nope, it did it to me again. It didn't extend. So now I'm 1 pillar short of finishing this job. And I don't think, can I make some more pillars? I need at least 1, maybe 2 more. I might be able to get what I need. Let's try it. Oh, yeah, way more than I need. All right, let's just make 2 for now. Put all the extra supplies back and hit place. Now, if it doesn't screw me over again, all right, that should be the last one I need. Yep, looks like it. Oh, and it's getting dark. All right, so we need to tab GAMMA space and the number, well, let's go with 4 for now. 4 will brighten it up. So now I have it all the way down to the ground. So we'll get back up here. Grab some more of these. Oh, we've only got 2 left. Okay, well, I'll grab them both. Can I make more than 2 with what I got left? Oh yeah, I can make 3 more. That should be enough. Okay, click back up here. Wait for those to be made, because we're going to need some more supplies to do better. There we go. Don't need that right now. We'll just jump over. Now, when we remove this, we should have a nice flat, no lumps or bumps. And that's why you want to make sure you go down as far as you can. Well, I guess it's going to take a few minutes for that to show. But the whole idea was now we can go ahead and make this hunter's platform. Uh-oh, the raft is in the way. We don't want to be attaching to the raft. See how it jerks around? All right, that should be out of the way enough. All right, so now we can finish out this little corner. And notice it let us go, but it won't let me fill there. I could also go, see there, same problem on this side. So you could extend this quite a ways by just doing that build down option. All right, now let's say that we're a little upset about the fact that we can't put anything here. Well, you could do the same thing again on all 4 or remaining 3, and then you keep making your platform. Now this would be like your ocean platform. But what we want to do is we want to go ahead and get ourselves some more stone and wood and thatch so we can do another part of the demonstration. Let's see, now we want to make some pillars, but we also want to demonstrate that these work also. In fact, you might want to make more of those. Now this time we're not going to do the build down method. We're just going to put these hopefully in the right spot, even though the build down method is usually better. As long as we can get a snap point, we'll be in business. All right, we've got what we need. Now the catch is, are there any jellyfish around? Yeah, there is. All right, so that could be an issue. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to come over here. See how it won't give me another snap point? Now, there are 2 positions for this thing. See there? If I use the Q key, I could go high or I could go low. Now, since this drops off, I want the low spot right there. Now, what that does, oops, we're going to need oxygen soon, is it makes it possible for me to extend that. Boy, the game is really messing with me today. But anyway, you can see down there, let me turn this up some more. Do another tab gamma, and this time we'll use 5, make it a little brighter. See there? So now when I go, I could probably finish out that corner. But you also want to try the pillar option. All right, where's that jellyfish? Now again, you can put the right in the center, or you could snap off of this pillar like this. And sometimes you could do the same thing by snapping off of, see there? See how it freezes in place? Now we could snap off of that one, and we could go both directions. All right, there's a pretty good demonstration. Now the crazy thing is, you don't have to finish out the pillars. Now which way you go, with pillars or with the block foundations, is up to you. But see right down there, there's a pillar straight down. And now we meet all the requirements to extend this. So we've got that corner finished, but we'll need some more to finish out this corner. And we can do the same thing over here, just make sure you develop a snap point. All right, so, well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to about there. Then I'll just use the bird again, which has a high capacity. And we'll fly up here on the top. It's usually a little bit safer to harvest stone and wood up here. And thatch, which we also need more of. All right, so let's see. We can put one there, like so, but not there, or there. So you know what we have to do, right? In order to square this thing off, we've got two choices. We could use the pillars, which I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and transfer these back. Or we can use the block foundations. Right there. Stone foundation blocks. I'm just going to use the pillars this time. Alright, so we don't see any jellyfish, because otherwise we are unarmed and helpless. So you come up here, you look for your snap point, see how it snaps into place. Now you can snap again, and we'll also snap in this direction, like so. There we go. We've got everything we need in order to extend it. So we'll get back up here. We've got some pillars left over, and we'll grab our stone ceiling parts, and see if we got all of the bases covered. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Oops, I need to make some more for this corner here. But I probably need to put down some more pillars, just like I did just now, so I can finish out this corner. Let's see. We've got what we need, I think, to make some more ceiling parts. Okay, now we'll jump back over there. See how the raft and the bird, there are key elements to being able to do this? Nope. And yes, so right underneath there is where we need to have snapped in some more pillars, or we can use those stone blocks. Now the important thing to remember is you don't have to build those pillars up. As they are fine. They do the job. Alright, so we need a snap point, and we need another snap point. It looks like we can only do that short one right there. We can't do the long one. And I don't think we don't have any more pillars yet. We're out of pillars. So we need to get to the back of our boat before we run out of oxygen. Now, if you happen to fill in, just like we did on these extensions here, if you close this off or square it off, you can't do that anymore. So that's very important for you to understand. You got to leave that open if you want to be able to jump back into your raft real easy. All right, do we have enough parts? All right, this should be good to go now. Bingo. And of course, as you can see, we could go this whole side or this entire side. So building this out and making it huge is a possibility. Now, on top of here, you could put a trap for an augie, which is Arvegetavis, like you see right there. If you decide to put in some stairs or some ramps, you could use this as a trap for just about anything, because this is pretty big, and you wouldn't even have to use all of it. The key is, of course, being able to put up some walls, and the key to being able to do that is those pillars down there. And remember, they're just one high, or the block foundations, but pillars will go even when block foundations won't. Alrighty, what do you think? Pretty good demonstration? You got a couple different methods that you can use in order to keep making this bigger and bigger. Now, at some point, in fact, let's go ahead and demonstrate that. You can come up in here and you can remove. See there? Now come up here and nope, yep, stone pillar. Now, why did it do that? Well, it decided it did not have the original support that it did. You say, well, the stone foundation, everything's there. The game is quirky that way. It doesn't always work the same. Now, the same thing will happen if I come up here and I decide to grab the last stone pillar. See there? It took down the whole thing. So you got to be careful about that. Now, we can rebuild all this, of course, but you've got to have some sort of a pillar connected all the way back down to the ground level that demonstrates and sets the elevation for everything else. Now, if you look, you'll see there's gaps between the pillars. And of course, we can, since this is pretty flat right in here, we can make some more block foundations and fill in those gaps. And then later on, we could decide to rebuild that center one like we did, or we could pick a new one to be the center. And all of those will count as foundations. And we'll no longer get that message that says you don't have a foundation, so that you can't put in any more of those stone ceilings to make your platform. But how far above the water line you go is up to you. Now, I recommend that you go to the water line plus at least 3 more, because some of these dinosaurs, like the brontosaurus you see in the background over there, are really, really tall, and that long neck can be a problem, because a whole lot of that dinosaur sticks up out of the water. So if you're not at least 4, I think it is, or maybe 5 pillars above the water line, that neck and that head is going to be a problem. Not so much the tail, because normally they can't whip the tail up that high. Now, some people recommend that you build right up to the water line and only slightly above, so that when you install a forge and some other devices, that fireplaces, or what they call campfires, cannot be touching water in any way. So you have to be slightly above the water line in order to use those devices on your platform once you build it back up. All right, well, I'm thinking I covered all the bases and did a pretty fair demonstration. Now, you don't have to be in the water. You can be out of the water. And you're just building maybe over in the redwood area, and you want to be high and dry so those tall dinosaurs cannot mess up your elevated platform base, which can later become a fort. Yeah, that looks all like useful stuff. We'll go ahead and take it. So what do you say? As you can see, there's plenty of stone to work with, and every day when you come back, that stone will be replenished so you can harvest it again. Now, that's a pretty good design right there. In fact, we're getting overexposed, and it's all on top of his raft. Let's go ahead and do the tab, gamma, and let's do the number 3. What time of the day is it? Oh, it's 8 in the morning, so let's go ahead and do the number 2. Tab, gamma, and 2. There we go. That's easier on the eyes. And since I laid out pillars, I could come back and rebuild all this. Now, right now, as you can see, none of the pillars are above the water line. So, starting my foundation work now with the raised platform concept, and I start laying out the stone ceilings. The only reason I would do that now is to make it harder for the dinosaurs to get inside the center of my construction. That's why I want to put more pillars down there, or blocks with pillars in the center, and so that they can't reach up through the floor if I'm not tall enough and do damage. But that also works as a trap if I put in more pillars and finish out those gaps. And the blocks, not so much, unless I put, of course, a pillar in the center of them, because they'll act like restrictors for the wild dinosaurs that like to attack right through your floor when you're doing these raised, elevated platforms. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and, whoops, turn the avatar around, hit the K key, move the camera back around, zoom out with the mouse wheel, and there you go. Hope that was a good demonstration. Now, it's kind of long because I threw in a lot of odds and ends, but hopefully you got the information you need. Until next time, be well.